mean, December 7th, 2016. Campbell, please, about a conflict of interest and a crime that's occurring in Pueblo, Colorado.
1 second.
Thank you.
Bill Campbell?
Hi, Bill Campbell. This is Dr. Heidi Woodick. I have another issue I need to bring to your attention as Michelle Flesher is transcribing in the same court as her husband, who is a judge, Thomas Flesher, and she is transcribing, and she's also providing transcripts and taking the money and issuing the money for the transcripts. I have proof of this in the municipal court, and there has been racketeering, and that has occurred against me. And this is a major conflict, as these people have conspired and legalized kidnapping acts of my daughter, and we have the GAL now recorded saying that Judge Thomas Flesher asked her to do illegal actions in the court, and that she was not the GAL in case 2007 DR 1166. And now we have additional recordings of Michelle Flesher, Thomas Flesher's wife, doing illegal racketeering and RICO violations. Yeah, because it's a Patriot Act violation of domestic terrorism. Of these people taking transcript money and not following the law of the checks and balances within the transcribing in the courts. So I needed to bring that to your attention, as she has also indicated that she's transcribing within the same courts as her husband. This is a canon violation, also a misconduct of conflict of interest. So I know that you have not taken any actions on any of the Pueblo citizens' complaints to you, as I've seen many of them. And it concerns me, William Campbell, to your involvement into the judicial officers' cartels and racketeering states, as these are serious offenses. These are pogroms. These are RICO violations. These are things that you definitely need to report to the FBI. And take judicial steps at. Oh, I did, but I'm asking you to do your job and your due diligence in reporting, as it is mandated of you to report to authority.
No, you're asking us to do some things that we don't have any authority over. You might as well. If you broke your ankle and went to a dentist, the dentist would say you got a problem, but I can't fix it.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that
these are things for law enforcement to look into.
Oh, okay. So you're the Judicial Disciplinary Board, right? The council?
That's right.
For that? Oh, okay. So you don't report judges who are doing crimes of kidnapping and child pornography and child sex trade and bank robbery within the courts. Those are not things you need to report, sir?
No, those are for law enforcement to look into.
Oh, okay. Good to know. I will let FBI know that, as you hold a license with the state, right? As an attorney? Okay.
Of course.
All right. I know they've seen juvenile questions, but I just wanted to, reiterate, as I'm not an attorney, and I thank you for giving me that information. And I appreciate your time, sir, and I will ask you to report to FBI, as these officers have committed major crimes. I mean, aren't you supposed to investigate that and confirm that what I'm telling you is the truth, and then report that for them to be impeached and prosecuted?
The investigation of crimes is a law enforcement matter. If they find evidence for it and the judge is convicted, then we can take some action. But we're not law enforcement. We just can't get involved in it.
Okay, so even if they're using their seat of power to commit their crimes, not crimes they're doing outside of the courts, crimes they're doing inside the court, you don't have an obligation to report that?
If they're convicted of a crime, it definitely affects their status as a judge, but
Okay.
the actual investigation, prosecution, and so forth is not for us to handle.
Okay, so a judicial disciplinary board is just basically a way of just documenting and filing complaints about judges? Is that all it is?
No, we review their conduct under an ethics code. We don't review their conduct under the criminal law code.
Okay, so if they break their ethics by doing, I mean, don't those go hand in hand? If you commit a crime, isn't that an ethical violation as well?
Yeah,
Because
you see, it has to be proven that they committed a crime, and that's up to law enforcement and the district attorney,
okay,
the FBI and the CBI. If they take it, then if they look into it and they find that the judge has committed a crime, then we'll hear about it.
oh, okay. So if you investigate those cases after they're brought to you, you don't do anything. You just tell the person to report to the FBI.
Well, if it's a conduct matter, we can take a look at it. If you're saying that there's been a crime committed, that's the jurisdiction of law enforcement. We can't do anything about it.
Okay. Well, anytime somebody uses their seat of power to commit a crime is also a misconduct. They go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other, sir. And that's just basic common sense, and that...
I agree with you, but what I'm telling you is there's two steps we get. That's the best way of putting it. Law enforcement has to take the first step.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be sure to let FBI know that this is all on them, and I don't understand why we have agencies then if we're going to expect FBI to do the cleanup project in America.
Well, maybe the CBI for Colorado, I don't know, but
Okay. Well, CBI has indicated that you have to report to them, and I've spoke to them, and they said that they needed a call from you and a report from you in order to intervene. So I'll be real happy to convey to them that, it's not true. We can make reports and they can intervene.
They're the investigating body.
Okay.
It's their job to investigate. And then the DA is to prosecute.
So how come they won't do that, Mr. Campbell?
I don't know. Maybe they don't think the evidence is sufficient. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, we're getting such mixed messages. It appears that a lot of people really don't know their power, I guess. But, I mean, what do you do if there's a Hitler Act movement in America? Then what do we do? People think they don't have to report RICO violations or presidential threats or legalized kidnappings of minors and adults. This is scary stuff, Mr. Campbell, very scary. We are having a Hitler movement in our own country by our judicial and law officers, and they're doing nothing to protect us. I have cases of these judges legally doing bank robbery by the judicial courts, and they're aiding it, and they're running child cartels, sex cartels. That's disgusting, sir, and that does need to be reported. That is a heinous crime. To me, that's worse than murder.
I hope law enforcement will take a look at it if there's grounds for it, and they have to look at the evidence, and we can't jump to any conclusions. They have to just make these decisions for us. Now, I'll give you an example. If a judge is convicted of driving under the influence of alcohol, a DUI case, then the judge is obligated to tell us about it, and then we take action, probably to remove his.
Okay,
from
but
the
that
bench.
would be outside of...
We have to have a conviction. We have to have
Okay.
the law enforcement take that first step.
Okay, but that would be a crime outside of the office if he were driving on the street. The crimes we're reporting are occurring within the courthouse and on record. And so
What you described to me does not sound like a crime in the courthouse. But that's for the DA and the sheriff and the police to investigate and stuff for us.
Okay. So legalized kidnapping and legalized bank robbery are not crimes used within the courts? For former Nancy Schaefer
Now,
also.
tell me who's been convicted of it.
Well, we're trying to get them convicted. We have probable cause, and we have a preponderance of evidence to prove that these actors are acting criminally while they're at work in the courthouse and using their judicial seats while in seats in the courthouse and committing heinous crimes. The other thing is we have Judge David Krockenberg's main court clerk, and she's been caught by numerous people being drunk and looks like she's on methamphetamines while she's operating in the court, while court hearings are going on in criminal cases. We have a right, sir, to have competent judges and competent clerks working in the courts that are not doped up and high on drugs. And so I don't know what we need to do about that.
Well, if you've got an issue about a clerk, the people to talk to are either the district administrator or the state court administrator's office in Denver, the HR division, the human resources division, the state court administrator's office. They deal with court staff. Okay?
All right, sounds good. Well, I appreciate your time, sir. I have a meeting I need to go to, so I hate to cut this short, but thank you for your time.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
bye-bye. 10 a.m., December 7th, 2016. That was William Campbell with the Judicial Disciplinary Board for Colorado. Wow.